students, welcome to the online session or the subject of structural analysis. This subject of structural analysis is mainly for the student of structural engineering. Basically, in design of any kind of a structure, first of all analysis is required to be done. If the analysis of the structure is done properly, then the design of the structure can be done properly. So basically, we can say that structural analysis is very important subject for the structural engineering students. So let's start with this important subject of structural analysis. So 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Hello students. Moving towards our first chapter, that is the introduction. Okay. So basically today all those contents that we are going to discuss are statically determinate structures, statically indeterminate structures, degree of static indeterminacy, external stability, internal stability and degree of redundancy of beams. So let's start with our first topic, that is the statically determinate structures. Now what are the statically determinate structures? Let's discuss first. The structure for which the reactions at the support and the internal forces in the members can be found out with the help of condition of static equilibrium are termed as the statically determinate structures. Means any structure in which the internal forces, reactions can be found out with the help of condition of static equilibrium, such kind of structure will be said to be a statically determinate structure. Further discussing what are the examples of the statically determinate structures are simply supported beams, cantilever beams, single and double overhanging beams and 3 hinge arches and many other structures are the examples for the statically determinate structures. Moving towards the next, that is the first thing that comes to your mind when we are discussing the determinate and indeterminate structures is the condition of static equilibrium. Means there are basically 3 conditions of static equilibrium, that are summation h is equal to 0, which means that summation of all the forces in the horizontal directions will be equal to 0. Then summation of all the forces in the vertical direction, that is summation V, will be also equal to 0, and third is summation of M is equal to 0. Means the summation of all the moments acting in a structure will be equal to 0. So basically we can say that there are 3 conditions of static equilibrium: summation of H is equal to 0, summation of V equal to 0 and summation of M equal to 0. Okay. So whenever in any example the condition arises that we have to write the condition of static equilibrium, then it will be equal to 3. Okay. Moving towards the next, that is statically indeterminate structures. Now the definition of the statically indeterminate structures is very much similar to the statically determinate structures only. But what is the difference? Let's see. Basically the structures in which the reaction at the support and the internal forces in the member cannot be found out with the help of condition of static equilibrium, then such kind of structure is said to be the statically indeterminate structure. Means here the internal forces in the member, the reaction at the support in a member cannot be determined with the help of condition of static equilibrium, and such kind of structure will be come under the category of statically indeterminate structures. Some of the examples of statically indeterminate structures are basically fixed beam, then continuous beam is also an example of a statically indeterminate structures, then fixed arches are also an example of statically indeterminate structures, 2 hinge arches are also an example of statically indeterminate structures, portals are also an example of statically indeterminate structures, and multi-story frames are also the examples for the statically indeterminate structures. Moving towards the next, that is now statically indeterminate structure. Now we can say that there are basically two types of statically indeterminate structures. The structure can be internally indeterminate structures, and at the same time structure can be externally indeterminate structures. Now let's discuss in brief that what is this internal indeterminate structures and external indeterminate structures. Now first of all, let's discuss that what is the externally indeterminate structure. Basically, when the structure is in such a way that if the condition of static equilibrium are insufficient to find all the unknown reaction, that is in vertical direction, the reaction in horizontal direction, and the moments. If the condition of static equilibrium is insufficient to determine the reaction in vertical, horizontal, and moment reaction, then we can say that such kind of structures comes under the category of the externally indeterminate structure, or we can say that such kind of structure will be externally redundant structures. Moving towards the next definition, that is the internally indeterminate structure. Means in this the structure will be in such a way that the condition of static equilibrium will not be sufficient to determine all the internal forces and the moments in the structure, even though we will be knowing the external forces acting onto it. Then such kind of structure is said to be the internally indeterminate structure, or we can say that the structure will be internally redundant structure. Now basically the statically indeterminate structures, the degree of static indeterminacy of a structure may be defined as the number of unknown forces in excess to the equation of statics. Means whatever the forces that are exceeding the condition of static equilibrium, then that will be termed as the degree of static indeterminacy of a structure. It is also known as degree of redundancy. So basically the formula for the degree of static indeterminacy will be equal to total number of unknown forces minus number of equation of static available. Okay. So we can say that it will be equal to R minus small r. Total number of unknown forces will be designated by capital R, and the number of equations of statics available is denoted by small r. Okay. Basically the redundants may be the support reactions or the internal forces in a member. If the redundants are removed from the structure, then we can say that our structure which is indeterminate, which was indeterminate, will become a determinate structure. Thus the degree of static indeterminacy is equal to the number of release necessary to make the structure determinate. Means basically what are the release that is required by a structure so that our structure from indeterminate will get into the category, or we can say that will get stabilized, and as a result we can say that the structure is determinate structure. Basically the formula will be equal to ds, that is the degree of static indeterminacy of a structure will be equal to dse plus dsi, means degree of external static indeterminacy plus degree of internal static indeterminacy. Now let's discuss what is the difference, or we can say that how we can differentiate the determinate structure and the indeterminate structure. Basically in a determinate structure, equilibrium conditions are fully adequate to analyze the structure, but talking about indeterminate structure, the condition of equilibrium are not adequate to fully analyze the structure. It will not be sufficient for the full analysis of the structure. Moving towards the next difference, that is bending moment or shear force at any section is independent of the material property of a structure. But talking about indeterminate structure, the bending moment and the shear force are at any section are highly dependent on the material properties. The bending moment or the shear force at any section in a determinate structure is independent of the cross section. But talking about the indeterminate structure, the bending moment and the shear force at any point is depending on the cross section of the structure. Temperature variation do not cause any stress in indeterminate structure, but temperature variation in the indeterminate structure can cause stresses. No stress can be caused due to lack of fit in case of determinate structures. But talking about indeterminate structures, the stress are caused due to the lack of the fitting. If the fitting is not being done properly, then in case of the indeterminate structures, the extra stress can be caused. Further discussing, extra conditions like compatibility of displacement are not required to analyze the structure in determinate structure. But in case of indeterminate structures, the extra conditions like compatibility of displacements are required to analyze the structure along with the equilibrium conditions. So here you can see the figures, the figure at the top and figures at the bottom. Both figures are unstable structures. Both means the figures that is at the top, here it is given as A, and the figures which is at the bottom, which is designated by B, both are unstable structure. Talking about the figure A, you can see that all the reactions are very much parallel to each other. The supports are very much parallel to each other. The reactions will be parallel to each other. Now, this structure will be unstable because in this structure, whenever the load will be acting in a direction perpendicular to the reaction, then the structure will not be able to resist that force. And as a result of this, the instability can take place and the failure can also take place. Talking about the given below B figure, these all figures are also an unstable structure because the reactions are in such a way that they are concurrent reactions. The reactions over here are very much concurrent. They are meeting at a point O. So we can say that in this structure, whenever the moment or the couple will be acting onto it, then such kind of extra moments, the couples and moments will not be resisted by the structure. And as a result of this, the chance of the failure of a structure is very much high. So this can happen in such kind of an external unstable structure. Now internal stability. A structure system is internally stable if it can preserve its geometry under the action of all kinds of forces that are going to act onto it and that will be going to deform. Significant internal forces are also produced in a member when even a small deformation is also occurring. On the other hand, the geometry of an unstable system is also known as mechanism can change the substantially without generating appreciable internal forces. Now, further discussing, in case of a pin jointed plane and a space structure, if the number of members is lesser than the minimum requirement, then we can say that structure will be unstable structure known as mechanism is also obtained. If the number of member is more than the minimum required, then such kind of structure will be an overstiff statically indeterminate system. And if the number of member is equal to the minimum requirement, then it will be a stable and a determinate structures. A rigidly jointed frame is internally stable and statically determinate. It has an open if it has an open configuration. Now let's discuss what is degree of redundancy for beams. So we can say that here in case of a continuous beam, the shear force and the moments at any point in a beam can be readily known once the reaction components are determined. And if the reactions are determined, then we can know the moment and the shear forces at any point. And thus the beam are statically determinate internally. So for any beam, we can say that our DSI, degree of internal static indeterminacy, will be equal to 0. And in this case, the degree of indeterminacy of a beam will be equal to the external redundancy. That means our ds will be equal to dse. Okay. And ds here will be equal to dse, and that is nothing but r minus small r. R is the total number of reaction components and R is the total number of condition equations that are available. Okay. So yes, here we are up to the end of the today's session. Thank you. So here we are ending our session. Hope you have liked the session. We have discussed each and every topic in brief and also in detail. We have discussed each and every topic's practical application also. So thank you for attending the session, and if you have any kind of a doubt, if you have any kind of a query, then you can send me your doubts and queries in mail. My mail is in my YouTube channel. Do check into my YouTube channel, like it, share it, and again thank you for attending this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.